Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. I hope you all are doing well. Now, when you think of a nice hearty breakfast, you think of scrambled eggs and toaster biscuits and sausage and bacon, hash browns, but here, grits. Now, grits, a lot of folks eat them for breakfast, but I tell you what, they're very versatile. I use them at lunch, I use them at dinner, and I want to show you today just how versatile grits can be. Personally, I like stone ground grits. Now, you're going to find grits either yellow or white. This is the stone ground grits. And basically with stone ground grits, you have to cook them a little longer. You can see the texture. It's a coarser texture, all right? And basically, I like it because the whole thing about grits is to cook them creamy. Now, even though today is have grits for breakfast, I'm going to show you how you can have grits other ways. They're just not for breakfast anymore. So what I have here, I have boiling water. Now, with stone ground grits, yes, I have a little salt in the water. With stone ground grits, you want a 4-to-1 ratio, okay? 2 cups of water, half a cup of the grits. When you first get them in, it's important to stir. Now, what's going to happen? Personally, I like grits very, very creamy. So by the time this comes back up to a boil, I like to turn the fire low and let them slowly simmer. See how that gets up to a boil pretty quick? Make sure you periodically stir the bottom of the pan because it will scorch on you if you don't stir the bottom of the pan. But you can see how this looks very liquidy, okay? But let me show you where we're going to get. This pot is just coming up to a finish. See how creamy that is? See how they've gotten really stiff? They firmed up. We've gotten rid of a lot of that moisture. Matter of fact, I have a pan on here. I want to show you something. Let me just get this little egg going right quick in there. Now, into our grits, I'm going to make these cheese grits. So I can go ahead and turn the fire off. I have a little Gruyere cheese. We'll get our Gruyere in there. Now, you guys may have heard of shrimp and grits or griots and grits, which is veal cooked in a gravy, and it's served on top of the grits, typically at brunches. Here, a little bacon. We'll get some bacon down in there that I just sauteed and got a little crispy. Oh, look at this. Doesn't this look really good? Look at our egg back here. Let me just give this a little movement here. Here, let's throw a little butter in that skillet with that egg. Matter of fact, we're going to put a little butter in here in our grits, but I want to make sure I stir this. Turn this slow, because remember, that's important. We want them to get there where they get very, very creamy. All right, our egg is just about ready to flip. You know, I maybe should have put the butter in there earlier. All right, there we go. I'm gonna turn the fire off. We're gonna give this a nice stir, get that butter in. Now, this is what you will typically find at breakfast. Folks will take grits. You can put them in a little bowl, put them on the plate. Take your egg, just go right over the top. And when that yolk breaks, it runs all over the grits. But I'm going to show you. Here, I have a pan lined with parchment paper, and I have it extended over. I sprayed it so it would stay down. I'm going to pour our grits into the pan. And what I want to do is spread them out. And you know, this is something my dad used to do. I first saw my dad do this because we're going to let this cool. We're going to let this chill. And I'll show you how once this chills, how we are going to pan fry our grits. Another great way to have them. So we're going to get this chilled. Our grits have cooled. And as you can see, that's why I had the extra paper hanging out of the pan. I took them out, and basically I've just cut a little square. Now what I have egg, tiny bit of milk, little hot sauce in it. Flour, I'm going to put a little Creole seasoning in our flour. Now, gang, we're doing this, we were talking about cooking grits for breakfast, okay? If I'm cooking grits to use at night for dinner, or like with shrimp and grits, or you can serve grits with anything. I like to cook them sometimes in chicken stock. That's right. And then you can season them with things like onion and garlic and things like that. So you can put any seasoning in there you want. For here, I have a little butter in our pan heating up. I just put a little seasoning in the flour. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take our grits, I'm going to go into the flour, knock off any excess, into our egg, back into the flour, and right into our pan. Now these won't take that long to cook. We want them just to kind of brown off on all sides. Now, if you want, you don't have to do the egg wash. You could just do the flour by itself, okay? But here I decided to do the egg along with the flour. All right, come on, we'll get this one in. And our last one. Now, these are going to cook roughly about 2 to 3 minutes on each side till they get nice and golden. They only take a few minutes on each side to get nice and golden. We can go ahead and turn our fire out. Oh, look at this. Go ahead and get them on the plate. Now, what my dad would do, my dad would make the grits. He'd keep them in the refrigerator like this. And in the mornings, he'd pan fry them. He'd put eggs on the top or eggs on the side. But you know what I've done? I've taken these, I've sauteed some shrimp with onions and red bell pepper, all right, some fresh lemon juice, and top that on top of the grits, okay? I've also cooked some pork chops and served them with the grits in the evenings for dinner. So I tell you what, yes, enjoy grits for breakfast, but remember, you can also use them at other times, like a little bit of green onion. So imagine some shrimp or some crawfish on top of that. Oh, that would be so good. Thank you for hanging out cooking with me today. Keep washing those hands, stay safe. For WWL TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.